Diablo, El Diablo.
This week in action.
He's still confused and agitated.
Could be something.
Talk to the developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then
Too good to be true.
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
what other horror stories can come with this?
We love Tencent.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 29. My name is Aaron, owner and operator of the YouTube channel Action RPG, and tonight we have another stellar lineup for you. With me, as always, is two of my moderators, two of my friends, channel leaders, Daft and Guilty. Say hello, gentlemen.
Heyo.
Daft's muted. Come on, Daft. There he is. Oh, that's funny. You muted it during the intro to make sure you didn't say anything.
Yeah, or my wife or somebody came in because they didn't know I was streaming. So yeah.
Very smart. Nothing's wrong with that. By the way, I really like the mug you have there in the background. I do notice these things. So everybody, for today, this is what we're going to talk about. So we like to open up the podcast with our poll. So we're going to go through our poll. We're going to talk about the new POE League. We're going to talk about D4 monetization. As always, we're going to pepper in lots of Last Epoch because whether you want to hear it or not, I really like that game, which you probably know. I do like that. No, but before we get into the poll, how's your guys' week going? Daft, how's your week? You said you've done some updates to your studio. Some stuff's going on good.
Yeah. So this last weekend, I moved. My wife and I had our office set up in our room, and we moved that, set it up in the front of the house. It's changed up the whole setup, and it looks better out there, anyways, with the lighting and everything. But the room, so nice now. It dawned on us after having it there for like a year or two how weird it is to just see your office space right in front of you right when you wake up. So
yep.
Yeah, it had an effect. So this week was good in that sense.
That's awesome. Guilty, how are you feeling over there?
I breathed in some dust and I feel bad.
What kind of dust?
Some dust from a foreign sovereign nation on a Connex.
It probably wasn't healthy to breathe it in.
No.
No.
You know what? It also probably didn't.
Bad.
It probably also didn't taste good either.
Nope. I immediately felt like it was going to do something bad to me.
You should go get like a shot for whatever that happened to you. You know, there's something out there. Probably you need tetanus or I don't know.
I'm good.
You're good. Drink lots of water or drink lots of alcohol. Maybe it'll kill it. You know how it goes.
You do both of those things.
All right. Guilty, I'm sorry you feel sick. I hope you feel better. Sir, I'm having a great week. It is Wednesday, which means it's hump day. We're almost to the weekend, which I just cannot wait for. This week I've been really spotlighting indie studios on my YouTube channel, and I know the videos seem different, trying to give some smaller games a shot. So if you're curious, that is what's going on. Okay, let's talk about the first topic of this podcast. Pulling it up right now, and that is the poll of the week. Now, I put up a poll on YouTube every single week, and that is how we intro the podcast. For this poll, we had more votes than any poll we've ever had. A couple weeks ago, we broke 1,000. This poll, we have 1,300 votes. And by the way, the last poll that barely broke 1,000 was posted for almost 8 days. This one's been posted for 3 days.
Yeah, that's true.
1,300 votes in 3 days. Okay, so let's talk about this poll. Which game has the brightest future? Which game has the... Now, this doesn't mean that all the games won't have a bright future, but obviously you can only select one, so which one was the brightest? These were the options: Path of Exile 2, Torchlight Infinite, Diablo 4, Last Epoch, and V Rising. Now, just like last week, we're going to start with our last place game. We're going to see why it came in last. Coming in at number 5 is V Rising. Daft, why did it come in last?
I think personally, it's just a small genre of people. It's a very specific style of game. You can play it offline, so you can cater to both parties. You know, the PvP side and just that. I think just because it's it's still relatively a small title, and what it was up against were more established companies, possibly. So I think just based off of notoriety, maybe.
Okay, Guilty. I'm going to give you
It's
some
a
perspective
survival
here.
game.
It's a $20 game.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not free to play. $20 game has 3 million purchases right now. Okay,
Yeah.
just from like underdog, not really known, game's probably gonna suck. I would probably guess it's the most successful game of the year, right? I mean, I guess like, you know, Vampire
It was very
Survivors.
successful.
I mean, it's gotta be top 5, right? From like
It was very successful.
Because you
And it
have
was
games
also
like-
short-lived.
because you've got games like Vampire Survivors, right, which got a trillion downloads, but it was a $2 or $3 game, right? This is a $20 retail copy, early access, 3 million sales. Do the math, that's a lot of money. Why did it get only 3% of the vote? What do you think?
It's a survival game. Same reason. The same. Our community is not going out and playing Ark. They're not playing Rust.
True. That's a part of it.
Yeah, it's got its own community. They just happen to probably be younger.
You know what I was thinking? When I was looking at this list, V Rising probably shouldn't have been on it. Well, I mean, it's already out.
Right.
Yeah.
When you talk about a bright future, it's like, well, I've already played that game. And they don't have like a ton of updates for the future. So it's like, what does V Rising look like 5
Sure.
years from now compared to this? It's like, oh, I've already played that one. It's got a current got a current success story. But when you're talking about the future, who is going to pick V Rising over like a Diablo 4, right? Especially on a channel called Action RPG. So that's
Right. You're right. They should have gone
Yeah.
with the upcoming Shadowrun ARPG that's going to happen if we keep on talking about it.
They could do survival game, like group it up with other survival games, right? In a poll,
yeah.
like Ark, and put them up against each other. They'd probably fare higher.
Oh, if I said,
Yeah.
if you had to log into a survival game today, which one do you pick? V Rising's on there with the best. It's probably top 2, right?
Right.
Okay.
So
I think that's a fair assessment. Let's move over to number 4 on our poll. Second to worst coming in. It's honestly might as well be the same. V Rising got 3% of the vote, and Torchlight Infinite got 4%. I think I know why. Guilty, you go first this time.
I voted for this.
Yes.
did you?
You did?
I absolutely did.
I love that.
Absolutely did.
I considered it. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to be surprised when the revenue numbers come in that a phone game actually beats PC games.
Right.
It is a
The
PC
phone-
game.
and it's free. Well, I mean, it's got a PC port. It is a phone game.
Once it's out, we'll probably have a
Like,
better
it will be on
assessment of
both,
that.
and you'll be
Yeah.
able to take your character from one to the other, and everyone's going to be like, I can play this on the John.
Right.
Maybe
I
that's a
never
good idea.
stop playing this.
That might be a good idea for a video. Torchlight Infinite. Is it a phone game or a PC game?
It's a game
Well, yeah.
that
I mean,
you
it
can
is.
take everywhere with you.
Okay. What are you drinking? What is that?
That is a martini, sir.
What are you, Bond
Oh,
over
my.
there?
It has lemon in it.
Oh, I see. That's why you're drinking it.
Therefore, it's healthy.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Guilty. I'm sorry. I can't get away from this. 4% of 1,300 people voted for Torchlight Infinite. You are one of those people. What made you select that over a, let's say, like Path of Exile 2?
Path of Exile 2, everyone that follows us, people in our community know what my thoughts are. And they're shared with like BizBear from our community, and I had the same thoughts on it. It's the same game. They say it's the same game. One game, 2 campaigns. Changing the gem system up for each of them to have a 6 socket, whatever. I think that Torchlight Infinite has changed their actual game enough. It's a completely different studio, so it's different mechanics.
Yeah. Right.
But they still seem like Torchlight mechanics. And you can play it everywhere.
Actually, knowing Guilty very well, it makes perfect sense, because POE 2, yeah, it's going to be the same POE I already played. D4, he hates Blizzard. It's an MMO. He has no good feelings for it. Last Epoch, he's mixed. He plays it. He's excited, but he's not like overarching. Can't wait to get it. And then V Rising, he's already played, which leaves one game that has hype that I've showed him. Torchlight Infinite.
Right. Has the least exposure to us.
Daff, why did you almost vote for Torchlight Infinite in this poll?
Because it looks inspired. It doesn't look regurgitated. It looks like they're actually trying to make a different game out of what was the predecessor to the, at least name-wise, Torchlight 3, which left such a big stink on everybody's face. But it has pedigree in 2 and even 1 to a degree. So I felt like it had a good chance to it has a good chance. It has, I think, the most uphill climb, but for different reasons than other companies that are in this. So they haven't been promising things for a while, like Last Epoch has.
Yeah.
So, they're kind of out of nowhere. Hey, our game's pretty cool. We're going to put a PC port in that might be really fantastic. You're going to enjoy it. POE 2 for me, it's kind of, I think it'll be a fun game, and I think it'll do great. I'm just not looking forward to it. I'll play it, but I'm not excited really. I haven't delved into it. And D4.
No. We can talk on that when we get to those ones.
Yeah. Those are coming up.
Those are coming up, but I got you. I totally got it. In chat, Christina, I saw your confession. It's okay. Lady Medusa, I am not jealous of Guilty's drink. I'm well taken care of.
A little bit jealous.
Or maybe a little bit jealous. If it was a dirty martini, maybe then, then that would change things. Don't do it. Guilty, don't do it. I already see you looking around. Okay, for me, Torchlight Infinite. It didn't get my vote. You probably all know why, because you probably knew or know where my vote went. But if I had to select a number 2, it would have went to Torchlight Infinite. And that is because I am one of a handful of people that have actually played the latest iteration of the game. And imagining that on my PC and it feeling like a PC game with a good UI makes me excited for that game into the future. So Torchlight Infinite, definitely going to be awesome. Moving on. So last place was V Rising. 4th place was Torchlight Infinite. And coming in number 3 with 24% of the vote is Last Epoch. Why wasn't it number 1? I know there's
name recognition.
That's not what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I think so.
It's
People
just
want to play Blizzard games, apparently.
Right.
People, I wouldn't say that. I would say people want to play. People want to play Diablo games.
That's a Blizzard game.
Yeah, but they don't.
It's
like
a generation.
It's
It's that whole generation. They have several generations in their hands as far as decent games, and so
This is what I will say about Last Epoch, because obviously I can't sing its praises enough, even though I know it has so much to work on still. Percentage of that 1,300 votes, it's really high. And when I talk to Last Epoch developers, when I talk to their team, they are always just like elated that they've built a game off Reddit using Unity with a Kickstarter, and they are now at least in some conversations, like this conversation, talking with the big boys, right? Like that in itself is a good feeling. Like they got a quarter of the vote, crushed V Rising, crushed Torchlight Infinite, and they were in striking distance of number 2.
Right. It's true.
I mean, they also got 10 cents attention.
They do. They got that 10 cent.
How much attention do you think they got from 10 cent?
They got
like a
24% of that attention.
Was it 24.9 with the possibility to buy more in the future?
I'm sure that was in there.
Longshanks in chat saying he's lost his faith in Blizzard
Oh,
at this stage.
Don't think I'll
not
even try
alone.
D4. Man, I've talked to so many people that's like, I can't, I must hear this every day. I hate Blizzard. I hate what they've done. I miss Blizzard North. Oh, I hate Blizzard.
Right.
Well, of course I'm going to play D4. I have to play D4. You know how many times I've heard that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, of course I have to buy the 3-day early access $89 version. Like,
It's-
I have to.
See, I think it's like our person and our, like, we have our two selves, like our conscious selves, like, I can't do it, I don't want to, but since it's still far away, it's like, but it'll be cool to play. It's like this whole
How often do you get a Diablo? 12 years? 10
The
years?
last
I was
one
gonna
was
say every
Diablo
10.
2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. When was D3 released?
Like 10 years ago.
2012.
Was it
2010?
2012?
Yeah, it's like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I thought it was
10 years.
over 10 years ago. So you
feels like
figure, what, in your actual adult lifetime, what do you get to see? 5 Diablos? 6? If they continued?
How much money do they want?
You know?
Yeah, no, there's that whole, like, it's, you know, like when you were growing up, like for me, like the Star Wars trilogy, anything that was like building upon its own story, right? It's kind of like the same thing with the video games. Diablo has like this thing, and it's embedded in the lots of people. So there's a curiosity always to go back to your nostalgia roots, I think. And so it's just kind of like a tug of war for sure.
But I am proud with Last Epoch's performance. So that's really where I'm at. And obviously my channel has a lot of people that follows Last Epoch, so you know that the poll's going to be skewed a little bit in Last Epoch's favor. I totally understand that. And also, anybody that knows of Last Epoch knows that this multiplayer 09 update is going to be huge. So when you talk about a bright future, you know that pretty soon something cool is going to be coming to the game that if you're a fan of the game, you've been waiting for a long time. So I do know the results are a little skewed. Doesn't mean that I'm not happy with where it came in at.
That's realistic. In comparison, the two games that outdid it were the more well-known games.
Yeah, and I'm sure if you were
Exile and Diablo. Both.
and if you were a betting man, you would say like, what's going to come in 1 and 2? You put it on
Exile.
the one that came in 1 and 2. Okay.
Right.
5th place
Exactly.
we had our poll, okay? Which game has the brightest future? 1,300 votes in 3 days. V Rising, last place, 3%. 4th place with 4% of the vote, Torchlight Infinite. 3rd place, Last Epoch with 24% of the vote. And coming in number 2, you know what they say, second the best, Diablo 4 with 31% of the vote. And that's what I talk about. I mean, it's fairly close, right? 31 to 24. You're talking about a 7th percentile difference, but that is striking distance, right? Striking distance.
There's nothing wrong with bronze, right? You gotta, if you place, you place.
It gets you on the podium. I like the way you think.
You're last.
I like the way. What do you mean you ain't first, you last? That's stupid. You're 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
You're up there. That means you're in the competition. You're in the conversation. You know, there's enough people playing, et
we
cetera,
say
et cetera.
brightest future, we are talking how much money they make, right? We're not talking how big of a splash they can make on social media.
Well,
We're talking about revenue, right?
the question for the poll was unspecific. So it's up to the person voting to make the distinction on brightest future. I would think the gamer, the community member voting on this is going to pick based upon fun factor. I mean, that's how I would vote. Like, right? What game's going to be the most fun?
Yeah.
Not which one is going to make the most money for the company, because then I would vote Diablo 4. So,
Right.
Even
Somehow.
then, I think that would still be Torchlight because it's on the phone. You got that entire. You're bringing in the entire phone audience into
The phone market
Yeah.
is
Candy Crush, anyone?
Yeah, I mean the phone market itself versus the console and PC is just ginormous. So yeah,
I mean,
that's
Diablo
do well
4 will have a triple A price. It'll be a $60 game, and it'll likely have anywhere from 2 to 3 higher versions. Collector's version,
Sure.
early access, get your MTX wings and your undead horse. It'll probably have a launch like Lost Ark, only a $60 per person, tacked on what pack you want. And everybody,
right.
anytime there's a new MMO, anytime there's a new ARPG, there's always like the fear of falling behind. So what do people do? Oh, I gotta get the 3-day early. If I don't get the 3-day early access, everything's gonna be already streamed. Everything's already gonna be online. All my friends will be ahead of me. It's almost a requirement to buy it.
Yeah.
I have a comment in the chat from Mind TV.
We know
basically saying-
Mind. This is who we've rated a few times.
Yes. Saying basically, if you have a good community, that's what you want. Money's nice, but a community is more solid.
And I'm gonna
can push the game
totally
what he said.
take this like in a different direction. We're not done with the poll because we still got to talk about number 1. Right now we're on our second, the best, and that was Diablo 4, 31% of the vote. You look at games, isometric, supposedly next gen, ARPG in Magic Legends. They literally have an opened beta that has a start and a finish date. Like, not like open beta, and open beta will just transfer into 1.0. It's literally a start date, finish date, open beta. And inside of that open beta, they couldn't help themselves. They already had a pay-to-win cash shop. They couldn't even, I'm going to get daft addicted. I'm going to get guilty addicted. I'm going to show them this amazing game that Cryptic Studio made. And then once they're hooked, once they love it, once we've showed them that we made a great game to make a great game, not to make money, we'll drop the shop on them. No, they couldn't even wait till the game was dropped. The shop was out. And the game never launched. And never they
so bad.
Scrapped it.
That was I felt bad for that whole who was pushing the monetization part of that game just killed it.
Oh,
did the actual
monetized itself?
cheat.
They just took the collectible card game,
Right?
That's what it was.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, obviously the people who worked on the game, the artists and they probably were into it, and all of a sudden the other guy's like, bah, and it killed the game.
And that must suck to be a developer too, when you're when you're pouring your heart and soul into a game, and then they just like, we need money. The shareholders want money. Get us money, dude. They even had the money you spend during this open beta, a portion of that will be transferred over to the other. What? Dude, I'll never remember, because Vulcan did like I spent $100 in Magic Legends. This is what it got me, and he was unlocking all the different heroes and different cards because it was 100% pay to win. Anyways, there's a couple pictures that I have saved on my computer. And one of them is the email that I screenshot from Magic Legends saying that they've made the decision to close servers and scrap the project. We're sorry that we didn't deliver a game to the community that was worthy of Magic. And it's like, I don't know why. It's like, I literally see that picture every single day. It's probably why I always refer to it, but it's just such a good reminder about what not to do. Man, that game was terrible.
If you played Magic or have, Aaron, did you ever play the physical Magic the Gathering?
I mean, I had decks of cards, but it was more like collecting. I never really played.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put out even Vulcan. Like, I've commented on Vulcan stuff online. He'd be like, he was talking about comparing. It was some mechanic in a video game. I think it was Lost Ark. Might have been something else to LCG packs, or not CCG packs. TCG, whatever. And I said I could just buy the singles, know the value of the thing up front, and it's not gambling at that point because I'm just buying the thing I want, which is probably coming. That's the loot box is just going to get replaced with buying the actual item. That's the future.
If you want this legendary sword, it's $5.
Yeah. I have a deck of Magic behind me that's I'm not happy to admit, but it's very expensive.
Do you have a Black Lotus in there?
No, I don't. It's my modern deck. It's pretty expensive, but I bought everything by piece. I didn't open up a pack to get any of that.
Now, you know why they wouldn't want to make it that way, obviously, right?
I mean, Magic does that. Pokemon does that.
But I mean,
does that.
So think about it for a second. If it's $2 for a surprise box and you have a 10% chance of getting your item, or it's $10 for the item,
I mean, 1% chance.
you'd rather for the studio to make more money, you'd rather have the loot box. It's like honing on Lost Ark, right?
Yeah, but see, those are going to be illegal soon.
I really hope that they're illegal soon.
Just going to go and buy the thing that's just going to sell it to you up front. That's the change.
Yes. Okay. How did we get on this? Talking about voting
Magic
on
Gathering.
No, we were talking about will D4 were we voting based upon how much money a game's going to make.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about Magic Legends. By the way, anytime I start a new true isometric action RPG and you log in and you go to options, and under options it shows a controller, bad first sign. I remember putting that in my video. When you go to options and you go to settings, when you click on controls, it was a picture of an Xbox controller and not a keyboard and mouse. And it's obviously WASD to move, which I mean is okay. There's some games that do that well, but it's like, if you really want action RPG, it's point and click. Like, that's the way it is. And it was really cool on Torchlight Infinite when I first logged in, or when we saw the video for the UI for the PC port, it was literally point and click, and then the skills were QWER. A lot of people miss that. They'll make it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the first thing you do is you update it to QWER. So, anyways, little thing.
Question: in TI, it's essentially plays like a controller, right? Like on your phone.
I mean, you can't set up a controller to your phone to play it, because I tried that.
No, but it plays like that, right? It's got the little thumbstick in the corner, that little digital thumbstick. Yeah.
It looks like Diablo Immortals UI. Left thumbstick, and then right is 5 skills. But that's a standard UI for pretty much any RPG phone game. Like, what else can you possibly do? Okay, Yeti, I'll answer your question in a second. I did see it. Okay.
Yes.
Number 1 on the poll. V Rising was last. Torchlight Infinite was 4th. Last Epoch was 3rd. D4 was 2nd. And coming in number 1 with 37% of the vote of 1,300 votes. Which game has the brightest future? Path of Exile 2. I have my thoughts. I'm so curious if you both are going to agree.
These people said that last week when they voted. Path of Exile's fans kind of go back and forth on Path of Exile. They're pretty brutal to those developers.
Push Yeti.
Like, oh, sorry guys, we made a mistake. They go for blood. They pick up the torches and the pitchforks.
They really, really do. Okay, Daft, why did POE 2 win?
I think if I had to put Pit D4 and POE with each other, the games are different enough and established. They're both fine. I think basically based off the public image of the developers. So Blizzard has a tarnished record right now. Path of Exile's love it or hate it, and league to league, and nerfs here and all that. They don't have necessarily a tragic background like Blizzard does. So I think in the end that might push people's trust in the companies, the devs, a little bit.
I mean, yeah, it's because Blizzard had multiple issues. They made bad stuff for players to play, and then they themselves were bad.
Yeah.
It was like
it was total bad.
it's like,
all
hey,
bad.
it's like you found the bad guy, and then you realize the bad guy has a boss, and it's the same company, and then his boss
Right.
is the person that created the company. Like it's just it's layers upon layers of badness at Blizzard.
And then you
So
sprinkle in some Tencent.
It's yeah, I think that just kind of nudges the game where
Okay.
amongst all people.
This
they're
is my
conscious,
thought.
And then some of the that's gonna
This is my thought. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Sometimes these results are just surface level. Okay, I'm gonna say surface level. We just got the announcement recently for the new league. Before anybody played the new league, more interactions than ever, more people talking about it in videos, more people streaming it, more articles. We just got an announcement for the release date for POE 2, or at least the release date,
Right.
or the day we will get the release date. We just got the news on Exile Con 2023. Lots of news. It's up to the person to determine if it's positive or negative. And that news, that buzz, the wanting to play the new league translated into this poll. Has nothing to do with the game itself. It just has to do with like, oh, I just watched the stream. I just saw this streamer. I heard about POE 2. I'm going to click that.
right.
Any
It's
merit?
the most recent. Yep. No, I think that's,
no,
that's
it definitely
completely merit.
Everyone,
all
yeah.
of their current news is exciting and new, and we're looking forward to all the coolness. The other team, nothing's going on here.
Yeah.
I
Look,
just have to read this
over
off
here.
again. Path of Exile 2 website. 1 game, 2 campaigns.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's right there.
It's a different game.
It'll
says-
be different, but
One
I think
game.
I think
Okay.
though, honestly, Aaron, if you think about it, they're going to say that because they don't want to lose their old community, which is massive. The new community that'll be based off of POE 2 will be,
You
you
know-
know, a different group.
I've got a thought on POE.
End game.
This is my thought on POE. They should. I always thought POE was the game that, like, you know, your great grandkids are playing. Hey, I'm playing POE, League, blah, blah, blah. Like a game that would always be evolving forever. I actually think it's a terrible decision to even label it POE 2, because somebody that hasn't played the first POE is going to go in because it has a new 2 next to it, thinking that it is
Right.
an entirely different game. It should almost be like POE remastered.
Continues.
POE, yeah, POE, yeah, Infinite.
Right.
POE
Um,
Fire, you know, like something where,
According to them, it's going to be the same game.
but
Yeah.
that doesn't make
Man.
sense because
The same end game. You go to the same end game mapping system.
but it's a new graphics
All of
engine.
your-
It's new
No,
pacing.
it's not.
Yes,
It's
it
the same
is.
engine. No, it says it's updated. It's not a new engine at all.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. It's not a new engine, but it is new and improved visuals, is what they are claiming.
Look very similar.
Grim Dawn 2's on a new engine.
A completely new engine, proprietary.
Blah blah. That's what I say to Crate Entertainment.
You did.
No, actually,
saw
like,
it too.
I don't know why I just said that. I like Crate. I do like Crate.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you have to tell them that you didn't mean that. Blah blah. The world saw it.
All right, I'll take it back.
Yes, Grim.
It's in the Library
Bush,
of Congress
yes.
forever. They're going to do the same endgame system. They're making it so that all of your MTX that you purchase works for both, so it can't be a different engine. I'm pretty sure you get to keep your hideouts, which makes sense because you're still going to use the same mapping system.
Right.
The
Titan Quest,
the
yeah.
gem system's different. Everything can have 6 socket. however you unlock it.
Right.
And you get, was it 19 ascendancy classes? On
I guess
top of the same classes.
so. It's almost like an extremely large DLC.
That's what it is.
Right.
Instead of calling it like, Malmoth, they're calling it Path of Exile 2.
Then I'm assuming a free-to-play DLC.
Yeah,
Man.
it's free.
I feel like the hardcore PoEers are going to hate PoE 2. It's supposed to be slower pace. The game's going to be different. You've already seen like the crossbow where you could change it like fire bolts, ice bolts. You know what I'm talking about.
If they actually slow down PoE, I'll be happy.
They did. This season's
Or
slow.
You know,
This
Well, I
season.
mean PoE too, but it is what it is.
But that's the thing. Let's say they slow it down. You know, the like speed runners, and they're gonna hate it.
Right.
It's not.
You've already seen the reaction to this.
Okay, perfect timing. It's actually funny because our second topic for this podcast was the new league, Lake of Calandra, for Path of Exile. And since they came in first on the poll, it's a perfect transfer time. Go Daft.
I was just gonna say we had a question that we were gonna get to.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Are you guys looking forward to First Descendant?
I had to look it up.
The First Descendant is a new looter shooter that is coming out. Visuals look
interesting.
really, really good. I made a video on it for YouTube, and basically I said, maybe this will be what Outriders wanted to be. But I don't really have an opinion of it until I see more gameplay or like longer gameplay of it. I will definitely be checking it out, though.
I mean, Mystical Unicat came from PoE, which,
Welcome.
I played PoE before I played LE, so.
Looking to try Last Epoch. Smart. You're a smart man. Because you're playing the Lake of Calandra and you don't like it. I don't know. That's just
I am
guessing.
playing Lake of Calandra as well, so.
Yes, Outriders was good, but needs work, definitely. Okay. Poll is done. PoE 1, D4 second, LE third, Torchlight Infinite fourth, and Poor V Rising came in last. Topic number 2. Go ahead.
That rank is actually what I thought it would be.
Like
Literally in order.
perfectly.
Yeah, I was like, it just feels that way. Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I figured V Rising would be dead last because it's not an ARPG.
I know. I was
It's a
kind of.
survival game.
As long as Last Epoch doesn't come in last, I am happy. Okay, topic number 2. It's been all over YouTube, all over Twitch, and there's now people writing articles on it. For whatever reason, the community is falling off quicker than ever on Lake of Calandra, the latest league for PoE. Right. And then, of course, you got Ziggy, you got Ziz, you got lots of people making videos on things they don't like. Openly admit that I am currently not playing the new league. These two gentlemen are. Daft was playing it, has already given up. Guilty is currently playing it. So I'm going to give the floor to you gentlemen first to discuss your thoughts since you're actually playing the league. And then I'll bring it home with basically what I have read and heard from the hardcore gamers. Guilty, you get to go first.
Okay, well, before we start, what's the name of the guy that always pumps up he always just gets a bunch of currency and dumps it on the market? His name starts with an E. He's a big YouTuber, pisses a bunch of people off. He's a Twitch streamer. Empyreon or something like that?
Empyreon something or other, dark hair.
You guys know who he is. I don't really, I don't watch him. I just know his antics. I did catch a video clip of him and his group simultaneously quitting. Like they all quit together.
Yeah, it's like, we're done, right? Like the video said, we're done.
Yeah, it said, he said, I've already voted with my wallet. I'm now going to vote with my, what did the guy say? I'm going to vote with my, my player count or whatever.
Right.
I don't think it's that bad, but then again, I am not someone that goes out of my way to try and make as much currency every league like that guy does. I mean, it's how he makes his money. He's pro level. I think that the people that are pissed off the most are the people that are getting bombarded because they can't run through stuff and they're dying a lot. They took
content creators.
They took a buff which honestly should have probably been relegated just for the lake segments, the mechanic, and they put it across the entire game and simultaneously nerfed back the currency. And some people are saying between 50 and 80%.
Yeah, it's weird.
So yeah, they slowed the game down. It's not like, oh, what happens if they slow? This is what happens when Path of Exile is slow. People don't like it. They're not used to using the same builds they've used. They actually have to think. Like you can't just use the same thing because it's so broken now that you can't do it. You have to you need like life leech or something on everything.
Right.
The elite bosses, or the rare bosses rather, the rare packs that float around should not but are harder than the bosses.
Yes.
I face tank the bosses because my current build there's life leech involved, so I can just sit there and face tank. You cannot do that. It's instant wipe every time you run into a gold.
Right.
Well, what happens is you'll run into a rare enemy, right? That's elemental resist and chaos resist, and some builds, you literally can't kill them. It's impossible, so you just die. So if you're a hardcore character, that's it.
Yeah. So was it Chapter 2 Oak? They've revamped Oak, so he's a little bit tougher. I was literally standing there, not hurting him, face tanking him, and he was not hurting me, and we were perpetually hacking at each other. Act 2.
Okay.
Pushetti was asking about hats. Look, I have a hat.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mine's down there somewhere.
I just have it over here in the corner.
Yeah.
I'm not using it.
Okay. Listen, Daft, what'd you play? 2 days and then quit. Why? Or is it 3 days?
It was like 2.5. It was 2.5. It was fun. I didn't really come across all these things. I only got like to the second act. I hadn't played Path of Exile in nearly 1.5 years at this point, so it was a little bit adjusting from last Epoch and everything else I was playing. So it was a rough adjusting, but then I hear this, like what Guilty's talking about with the buff and that makes sense because I died like 3 times early on, which typically never happens when I play. It's just not the way the life goes. And I was just doing a witch SRS, right? I noticed a little minion. They died a little faster, so I noticed the debuff to the minions. But overall, I enjoyed it. But with this game, I go for a while, try out the new stuff, and then the next morning I wake up and I'm like, I'm gonna play Farthest Frontier today. I'm done. I just, there's nothing. Path of Exile doesn't like keep me. I don't get into that like grind and stuff as easily anymore.
So I had to
played it
put
for like 9 years. So
I have to put POE on a shelf. Like because I know that I can't play it as much time as required to be good at it. Like it's just POE, if you really want to be good, you have to dedicate your entire channel to it. You need to be playing it every single day. You got to put in countless hours. It sometimes turns into a spreadsheet simulator, and I just can't
Sometimes.
It's always a spreadsheet simulator, and I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore.
Spreadsheet simulator.
So currently my path to building and my spreadsheet are on my screen.
I had that this last weekend. I had that up like every morning. All right, get path building up. Okay, here we go.
So I was running Cyclone with Chance to Poison, Herald of Agony, and you want speed and all that. I replaced one of my my attack speeds with a life on hit because you could not do the Herald of Agony Juggernaut without that. You used to be able to just here's speed here, here's speed here on your 2 main sets.
What level are you now?
I don't even know. I'm about to hit Act 5 because I've been doing other things. I haven't been able to play, and I had a lot of things. But you can't do, like I said earlier, people are mad because their builds don't work what they're used to. Well, I had to substitute things on the fly. Like the build doesn't work without life on hit. and I have a feeling I'm gonna have to do something else about another act
This
because
Yeah.
it's nuts.
this is what I will tell you, okay? From my experience playing out, I don't know how many different games, I actually don't give a crap what the studio decides to do as long as they tell you. Hey,
Sure.
They lie. Well, they
and I think that's the big thing. It's
They
like,
omitted.
hey, wait a second. I don't remember in the patch notes seeing that 80% of the loot or that drop rate's going to be gone, or that the Harvest League is going to be nerfed again, even though they said they're going to make it better, or the Lake of Calandra, you're not going to get the guaranteed rewards, and that you're not going to be able to kill rare enemies. That is where people get pissed off, and that's where you see the Reddit posts and the forums just start exploding, and then you start seeing the YouTube videos, because it's
Right.
the players, the community for PoE is so large that you literally can't hide anything. So that's where it's like, hey, uncomfortable conversation. This is going to be the betterment for the game. It's going to take everyone to get used to it. This is what we want to do for these mechanics. Continue to give us feedback on it, and just put it out there.
Right.
Because if you don't do that, it always looks worse. It always looks like, dude, they're trying to hide it. Oh, this game's dead. Oh, they're being deceitful.
They didn't try. They did hide it.
Exactly.
There was no try. There was only do.
There
They
is too.
sipped on
Yeah.
it.
In the future, if Last Epoch is like, hey, for the future of the game, we think it's going to make the game better. We're getting rid of skill trees and everyone will have the same skill. You know what? I would not like that. But I would appreciate the honesty if they said, hey, Last Epoch, we decided we're not making any money on PC and we're porting this to a phone game. So that's the way it's going to be. Great.
Well,
Thanks for being open and honest with me. At least I will take that.
did you guys see the
Last
statement?
Epoch's never going mobile, just FYI. Sorry, go on.
No, they would have to do something. It would require effort on their part.
Good.
The statement from the public relations guy for Path of Exile did not fix anything. It helped nothing. It would have been best if he just stayed radio silent. Yeah.
Okay. Another example of just keep your mouth shut. When the CEO of Blizzard comes out and says, we support the current monetization system for Diablo Immortal.
Was that the CEO?
Or
It wasn't Bobby Kotick.
no, it was
The president, wasn't it?
no, it was who's in charge of Diablo. Who's the president for that branch?
Oh, the game director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
He did come out.
95% of all of that Diablo experience is free. It's only that last 5% that you have to pay for. We are giving you an amazing Diablo experience for free, and we support the $200 million we've taken from the community.
How's it going, Twi?
I mean, I like Path of Exile, and I'm still going to play the 3.19. It's so everyone knows I play ARPGs a lot. On Ultimate, they're pretty difficult.
Sure.
So I don't have to play through 2 difficulties to get to Ultimate now. Yay!
Yeah, but Guilty, you're not any good. You should just stop playing.
I mean,
Oh man.
that's neither here nor there. You just see the beautiful thing about ARPGs is when you could die and start back at the door and run back through, and the thing still has half-life.
Hey, well, I'm not good either,
Right.
so it's okay. All right, first topic, poll, we're done. Second topic, PoE League, Lake of Calandra, we are done. We are moving on. Are you ready for this? Yep. You're gonna love it, because everybody loves Blizzard Entertainment. Quarterly update for D4. They wanted to clear the air and tell everybody about the monetization system for the game and how there's going to be no way to purchase power or items of any kind. It will only be cosmetics, but there will be multi-level battle pass. Daft, does that make you happy?
They can't help themselves.
I like I said earlier about I just don't even. care enough to put consideration into whether or not I care, because I know I'm gonna play it. What they're gonna do is inevitable.
Will you buy the battle pass?
Most likely not, unless I play it and I totally like it. Maybe I would consider it.
Okay, so that's an interesting topic. So if the game has a retail cost, let's just say it costs you $60 and you love the game, you would support them and give them more money on top of the $60 because
No.
I'm asking Daft, not you. You just
Literally, I would have to be blown away though, and I don't see it happening. So if the game structure and everything's cool about it, and because you have mounts, if everything is like ultra cool and addictive, and I don't feel like I have to pay to actually play it, then yes. If not, and it'll be just like Immoral, where we play it for a week and go, So.
Oh man, that face I'm going to record that face you just made. That was a really good one. Guilty. You spend $60 on the game. You love it. It's a great game. You're playing it every damn day. They say, "Hey, get the battle pass. It's going to have you're going to look the coolest. You're going to be the coolest." And you support them. Do you buy it?
Well, all of that is wrong because I don't support them.
Let's say the game is
And if I pay $60
Grim Dawn
for a
2
game and it asks me for more money, and it's not a DLC, it's just a battle pass, that's my first hint to abandon ship. It might be a great game.
Great entertainment. $60 to play Grim Dawn 2. It's the best game you've ever played. It's not a DLC. It's your favorite cape that you want for your character.
Full disclosure, I've purchased Grim Dawn multiple times.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I mean, on multiple. I bought it for the Xbox just to be able to play it from the couch.
Yeah, you did.
There is no season pass. I mean, I'm sure if they did one at the time, there probably would be.
You always do
Life was
this.
different back
You always do this. You're one of those people that just can't give
something that is an impossible thing for me to do.
You can't give a straight answer.
I do not support them.
You can't give me.
I'm not going to give them money.
You want that cape? Would you buy it
for $60?
He won't do it.
You're looking at the wrong guy. I'm voting with my wallet here. I don't like them. I don't trust anything they do. I am on as a World of Warcraft fan, I'm on the fence as to whether I'm going to do what I viewed might be the last DLC for that. I don't trust them. They've done nothing in the last 5 years to force me to trust them. And for $60, I would just feel stupid if I gave them more money.
Okay, why did you spend extra money with Lost Ark? Go.
What did I spend for Lost Ark? Oh, no, I won that stuff, remember?
Hold on, wait a second.
I was like, well, I didn't buy it.
Lost Ark was free to play. Why did you buy the gold pack at the beginning?
I won the gold pack.
I thought you had to buy it too.
No. I got it before the game released. I won it in Captain Neckbeard's stream.
Be right back. I gotta get rid of 2 dogs.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't. That's one I didn't. I did in Diablo when I was doing the review. I played it the way it was meant to be played, the way it was designed to be played. And it was as I suspected. Yeah.
See that, Lady Medusa?
They proved themselves again.
He's always maneuvering. Okay. I don't consider myself an MTX purchaser. Okay. I never, ever purchased a bundle from POE. That being said, I did buy stash tabs, and then I would get the league rewards that were the free cosmetics that you could earn.
Right.
Okay. I never purchased a big pack. All right.
Well, yeah.
Now that being
I
said,
did early on in Path of Exile.
Now that being said, because I want to be honest, I feel like I would buy every pack last Epoch made.
I totally believe you.
So I don't know where my loyalty I don't know what I even stand for anymore.
Who even are you anymore?
Hey, also, I did not spend $1 on Diablo Immortal. I didn't even
No, you
buy
didn't.
the 800% off pack. I did not spend a cent on Diablo
No,
Immortal.
same here. Same here.
Every time you say that, Bobby Kotick loses the hair.
I am
One
one
at
of
a
the
time.
people that enjoyed
Keep
the
saying.
95% of that AAA Diablo experience without spending money. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get pulled into that.
No one plays ARPGs for the end game.
you know, and there's
The only time
there's other things that are always in the back of my head too. So obviously I have a good relationship with the developers. It's the main game for my channel. They have legitimately given me like 10 free Last Epoch keys, which are $35 each. You know, it's they support me, they support the channel, that I'm putting my new unique in the game. So it's me wanting to give back to them because we have that good relationship. And they also know that if they screw up or do something bad, or if Tencent takes over, I will freaking call them out day one. So I'm hoping.
They're 10,
Yes,
your
you
10 cent
would.
minute. 10 cent laid off
10 cent.
5,500 people and is making like a cutback, so they're probably not going to get too involved
They-
with Last Epoch.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
only
that's the
made
thing.
700 billion instead of, wasn't it something
300, it was $370 billion.
370 billion? But that was under expectations. So 10 cents on layoffs.
Yeah. The first time since 2014, and they had to lay off 5,500 people. Your 10 cent minute.
Yeah.
You know, I will say,
Ah.
it's not even what Lady Medusa is talking about. My MTX for minions are nice. You
Yeah.
know, I guess
That's-
if
I got the
D4 was
sparkly one.
amazing, no, I still wouldn't buy MTX for minions. I don't think. I don't see it happening.
They
I
should
always
make
got
that
like the outfits, but not like sets. I would just buy pieces.
on a
Chris,
$60
what's up?
game. That
Hi,
should
Chris.
be in the game. Or just charge me $90 for the
Hello,
get-go, and
Chris.
I'll do it. Hello. But like they could charge us more than $60 and just give us all that stuff earnable in the game. Like you have to unlock it, and I would do that.
Sure.
That would be
Okay.
a guaranteed $30 additional from me.
Guilty.
Right.
Guilty.
I agree.
In this scenario, it's actually what happens. Okay, let's just say 2 years down the line, this is what actually happens. Diablo launches a $60 AAA game, Diablo 4. They have 3 higher end iterations, a collector's pack, a platinum pack, and early access. Okay. And they also have a huge MTX cash shop, no pay to win, with a MTX battle pass, no pay to win. Which one makes more money?
I really don't know. It's hard to say because wouldn't it be like a one of a kind where it's a $60 title that does not go free to play and still has the MTX shop? Because the other ones that have that went free to play or started out free to play.
Pulling up
It's like a new
Yeah.
frontier.
Sure.
It might not make them as much money as they think. And
many-
if they're not good,
How many copies does D4 sell?
I see.
10 million?
Yeah, probably more.
More?
Yeah,
I'd
probably
say
more.
10 million early on, and then it would either explode after that because everybody loves it, or kind of slow down. But at least 10 million seems like the status quo for any Blizzard game that comes out related to Diablo. But
So let's
see,
say
you know?
over the lifetime, would they sell 20 million? Is that so many copies.
it's a lot
I mean,
of cops.
how many times have you bought Diablo 2?
6 times. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not far away from that. I bought it a few times.
I don't know. Because I always and then I was the person buying it for friends, and then it was like 4 years later I
Right.
wanted to play again, and I didn't have the 5th disc.
D2R.
Or so I bought 2
D2R.
copies of D2R. I'm gonna say 15 million.
I mean, that's not. I wouldn't say that's unheard of, especially with. So there's gonna be new people that were not gamers, a new age group of gamers.
If they
Or
sold
playing it.
15 million copies at $60, it's 900 million.
Yeah.
Off retail. There's no way MTX touches $1 billion.
I don't think MTX alone will.
right?
But, like the game with the NTX, it's going to be over $1 billion game. They're going to be rocking Disney money.
Does D4 have a chance of being financially the biggest game of all time?
I don't know. Because think about this. If Star Citizen ever releases,
Diablo
it's
4
already
would beat
selling-
it.
Just putting, there's packages for $27,000 that people have already purchased in Star Citizen.
But
and
that's
it's not actually released.
But those are the whales, you're not.
Oh, but the whales don't count, but they do. They do count.
Look at
They
the
count a
whales
lot.
in Diablo Immortal.
When you can buy one package in Diablo Immortal for $27,000, you come tell me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris has a good point too. D4's launching on console as well.
That's a good point.
It'll launch across all consoles and PC.
And that reaches a very young set of viewers who have less opinions, possibly.
I
Unless
bet
their
you.
parents get in there.
I bet
How
you
much-
it's the biggest PC release ever, dollars wise.
Well, right now, Star Citizen's not released, and it's got the record for largest crowd-funded project of all time. I think it still holds that record, and it's growing every day.
Because think about it, is there a single streamer, single content creator that plays games that will not play Diablo? Because I feel like Diablo, right? People know Path of Exile, they know these other games, but like Diablo's like the one game that can pull in every genre together. Like kids know it, older people, like it's a spectrum, that name.
Right.
I think it's the biggest. I
Yeah,
think
I
it'll be
mean-
the biggest ever.
Path of Exile and Diablo. Path of Exile's on consoles too, so that means, and because it's really the same game, it's going to be on the consoles as well.
But D4
Right.
comes first. That's what's really important here.
I don't think that's important. I think that's the antithesis of important.
I think D4
As to
coming
what is good in the
before
world.
POE 2 is a big deal, timing wise.
So my cousin just logged into Path of Exile, not Diablo. That was good timing.
Yeah,
Love you
because
guys.
Diablo 4 is not out yet.
But no, I mean, no, he's logged into a Path of Exile game and not a Diablo game.
Ah,
Yeah, but that's cheating right now.
A little bit.
Anyways, monetization, if you
Yeah.
did not hear, they have come out and they've showed images of their cash shop. They have showed us what the battle pass is going to look like. They have talked about that there will be no pay to win mechanics whatsoever, and that there will be XP boosts for,
Of course it will.
there'll be XP boosts for added characters. So like
There'll be
your first
gold
character
coins, too.
runs through. If you want to make a secondary, third, fourth character, there will be ways to unlock those boosts to power level them, but you cannot purchase them. That was like the big kind of news, that even if you spend as much money as possible, you still can't power level through XP boosts your characters.
we'll see. Still,
We'll see. What was the okay? So we do have
All about the
another thing to go
verbiage.
off of. We have history with Blizzard to go up base. Oh, we're not going to, World of Warcraft Classic's not going to get that boost. It's not going to get. Oh, I got that boost. We're not going to put the gold coin. Oh, it got the gold coin.
whoops.
They are liars every time. Every time. Whatever they say up front, the opposite.
They've
You
mastered
think-
verbiage. That's all it is. We'll see. I don't
Do you
know.
think it's like
They're just
this,
going based
like
off their own.
it's like 6 months and it's just like new league? It's just like snuck in, like, oh, in the cash shop there's a new thing in there. That's what
That's
you're thinking.
about how it happened. Okay, remember they like, oh, we're not going to give you boosts for World of Warcraft Classic. We're going to keep this as classic as possible, and then you got boosts, and then the
Right.
gold coins came, or maybe the gold coins came and then the boost came, and they pretty much ruined Burning Crusade. Well, I'm sure it's still fun, but a lot of the people who wanted the classic to be in their classic didn't get it.
Dude, I
They do it
remember
every
the
time.
last Assassin's Creed game, they said they weren't going to put in the XP boost. 2 weeks after
Mhm.
launch, it popped up in the store.
It
They
just
literally lied. Everybody bought the game. 2 weeks later, they still freaking dropped it.
I have a theory. It's because they know they can lie to us to our face 16 times the textures. Thank you, Todd Howard.
Man.
You taught me a lot
Yep.
about not trusting executives.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope they don't
Like
lie.
Diablo's over here is 16 times the fun.
Yeah,
16
exactly.
times the lack of boosts.
Well, you know what's not going to happen? That's not going to happen with Last Epoch. What do you think of that? And don't say, well, once Tencent owns it, they're going to be...
Well, yeah.
Don't say it.
Well, see, we have good news that we just told that Tencent, you know, took a hit, had to lay off 5,500 people so that its, board of directors can maintain their salaries, most likely. And they're going to be doing cutbacks. So they're probably not going to be paying to get involved that much with an independent developer that they partially acquired.
Okay.
Partially. Yeah.
I'm done talking about Path of Exile and Diablo. Our last topic of the stream. Pulling an audible here. Guilty's not going to like it. We're going to talk about Last Epoch. But we're going to talk about something he doesn't know about. Okay?
There's a lot in Last Epoch I don't know about.
Yeah.
Even better.
Not really a
Okay.
WoW situation there.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I can now talk about stuff. I can talk about multiplayer stuff, even though I've played it once. Mike starts to talk about it in stream, because then it's like he's already put it out there, so now I can talk about it. Okay.
Is
Good.
that how it works on that NDA?
In
Double up on it.
multiplayer for Last Epoch, Aaron Action RPG's running around, and I've got my level 90 character, and then Guilty's like, "Fine, I'll play it. Just leave me alone." Hey,
That's pretty
Guilty.
much what's gonna happen.
Guilty, I think you made the right decision. Level 1, I can take him into the monolith and power level him. He doesn't even.
So it's like D3.
He literally
Okay.
doesn't even have to play the campaign. Now, as Daft would know,
Like Wilson.
idle slots, passive points. At some point, you're going to want to go through and get them.
Right.
Power leveling is 100% legal in LE. Daft, do you like it or hate it?
I mean, you know my current meta with how I play games, I usually level them. Maybe I would like that personally because I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time in multiplayer. I might not. It just depends. So it could be cool if we want to make like a squad and just go run power level and then, you know, try like high level content. It could be fun. It would take away stuff. But then you're missing all your skill points and stuff. So are you that useful? But you know, at the same time, you can power through that content and get those skill points. So
Well, a carry is
I don't
not about
think
you
it's-
being useful.
no, what I mean is, once you're done with the carry and you have to go back and collect all the skill points and stuff you missed. That said, I don't think it's a big deal either way because you either do it or you don't. You know, in the end.
So
So
it's not like, oh, I don't like that. People don't have to actually play the campaign. Not a big deal to you.
Or less.
Guilty thoughts?
Okay, so I'm going to. Cecilia's little brother wanted to play a game with Gabriel and myself.
Okay.
They had switches. Wanted to play an ARPG, so D3 it was. We have like on the Switch alone, we're approaching 400 hours on D3 on the Switch.
Okay.
Wow.
The ability to carry him up to a point and him be able to catch up quickly was a benefit because it kept him playing with us. Like he had no idea what a Diablo was.
Yeah. It's like when we
He's 25
power
years
leveled
old,
you
he's old.
in Wolson. I can't go a stream
Yeah,
without
I
saying
mentioned
Wolson.
And all roads.
All roads lead back to Wolves.
Ow.
Well, right now they're in Davy Jones' locker. Everyone
Yeah.
abandoned ship. It's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you have to pay for it, like the boosts in World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Right.
They've been banning people for, oh, you were carrying someone. Oh, so people were like playing the game with each other and trading the in-game currency. Gotcha.
This is
Maybe
what
if
I
you
will
make it so
say.
the currency can't be purchased.
I am so happy that I can power level and be power leveled. Okay. Makes me very happy. Because you guys know that I just skip everything anyways. So it does
You
make
do.
me
Makes me
happy.
angry.
Now, for the longest time, I haven't brought this up in a long time actually, but for the longest time I've been planning Friday night fights for Last Epoch. And this is tournament style in PvP for Last Epoch.
Oh,
once
God.
Once PvP actually becomes a thing, which so far it is not, it will be coming. It's just not going to come with multiplayer. Okay. Friday night power leveling.
That could be fun.
It could be fun.
I'm thinking about it
You can have
through
multiple
Discord.
characters up.
Through Discord, throw up a sign-up sheet if anybody wants to get power leveled. This is the time
That'd
I'm
be
going to
good.
be streaming. Multiplayer's live. You jump in. Let's go.
Yeah, but
That
we'd have to get
Discord
one of your characters
in
up to
chat.
100.
That Discord.
Yeah,
Oh, I'll get my Necro to 90 in the first. I won't take
your fire necro.
fire. Well, it'll be my Golem Necro.
Well, then you have
you're
like,
gonna start off with that. You're gonna,
I'd
you
have
think you're gonna
to.
get that piece of armor. You're
I
gonna get that
will
piece of armor?
not stop playing, with the exception of sleep, until I find my unique armor.
Of course.
And by the way,
You have to write up,
Angwar,
Mike.
Angwar, if you're still out there, I'm gonna need you to like paint a portrait of my new unique armor as well. So I'm gonna need that.
You
I'm
could
gonna-
put it move your shells and put it.
So
That could look nice.
Daft, we have to call up Mike and ask him to reduce the drop rate on it to like 0.005 or something.
I
Tiny
think
bit.
so. It's you guys probably don't know this. In Last Epoch, there is rare, very rare, and extremely rare.
Right.
So
right.
I'm hoping it's rare, but I know it'll be rare.
Yeah.
I hope it's not.
at least rare.
I hope it's not
You
in
hope
the
it's not
extreme.
like
Extreme's
you
hard.
get
The
it
stuff
every
it
10
does is
minutes.
pretty extreme, Aaron. The stuff we literally got everything we wanted. Some stuff we thought was not going to happen at all.
Is the armor
Yeah.
100% movement speed? The armor is going to allow you to have up
It's
to
mini and armor.
4
Good.
summon golems, and not like nerfed golems, like full on
full-on.
golems. And on top of that, this is knowledge that I can share. I've
There's
used it.
more.
I've used it and played it. I can only share like this much. Golem has a completely new 3D model in game. Moves different, attacks different. It is like, I mean, it's night and day difference. It's so much better. You're going to be able to have 4 of them.
I mean,
It is a thing. 100% movement.
yeah, but it's for like a rogue, it'd be great.
Oh, it is going to be 100% movement thing's never going to happen. But anyways,
I mean, they gave you 4 golems.
there's other stuff I just want to like talk about
mean,
Golem
Aaron,
because there's so much
Aaron.
other stuff, but I can't talk about that other
Speak-
stuff because I've signed my life away.
Speaking on the whole 100%, if you had a pair of boots that were uniques that only had 100% movement, that was it. Do you think it would happen? But like, whatever tier it is,
I bet
you
it
get
could.
those stats. But
No, it
that's
would never happen.
Nothing else.
It would never happen because
Nothing
people would
else?
just swap them. So it'd be like you throw on the boots, you run to the end, I switch, and then you're fighting. Like that's what would happen.
But you
That's
lose.
what I would do.
So
Exactly.
much.
It would turn into that.
Best item in the game.
Eh,
What's wrong
you
with that?
lo- You lose
That
all
would
your
be-
health. You can't.
That would be a non-casual like mechanic. It would be something that everyone does and no one speaks about. It would
No
just
one-
happen on a stream and everyone would understand what's happening.
No, that would never happen. That would never happen. And honestly, if it was like non-swappable, it still wouldn't be worth it because boots, normally you take vitality, health percent,
Yes.
hybrid health. So
all
you're
your
literally
health.
gonna cut 800 health or 500 health off your character
Exactly.
by
It's
axing your
food.
boots. But yes,
But you could run around like a crazy maniac.
Oh, Lady Medusa, it's 4 on top, right? It allows you to create 4 additional in Last Epoch, right? What
Lady
were the
Medusa,
exact
I have
rules?
9 golems in POE. Guilty 4 is nothing. Yes, but these are big golems, and
Yeah,
they
they're not the
golems.
POE golems.
and these golems do. I can't say.
yeah,
I wonder if you could
they
have the
reworked
different
golems.
kinds of golems.
They do.
It'd be cool if you could just summon like all the different types.
I feel like I'm in liar, like I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay, so
we'll see it soon enough.
There's new stuff.
New stuff.
It gonna rain. That's the weather forecast.
Ah,
It's gonna be fun.
gotcha.
It is gonna be fun. We can power level 1 multiplayer October, November, hopefully. Okay, we have 10 minutes left in This Week in Action podcast 29. We're gonna end with games we are playing, and I don't like listening to Guilty, so he gets to go first. So then you guys don't have to listen to him for a while. Go ahead, Guilty.
All right. I finished my review for Elden Ring. It'll be posted
looking forward.
soon. I had Vicente, because that's more his thing. Like I play Souls games, but I have no time for them anymore. So I sat down with him. We both went through it, switching back and forth. I got both our thoughts into it. And then in Path of Exile, I started 3.9 on launch day. I got to about chapter 2 and started thinking, do I suck this bad usually? What's different? And it wasn't until the rest of the internet let me know, like, but I'm gonna keep on playing because I switched out I switched out some stuff and mitigated the nonsense, and I've pretty much been skipping the lakes. Some of them are hot trash.
I did it for the lulls.
Yeah, well, it's
try to
pretty
make a
funny.
nice little path.
Every time you run through a rare mob, it just you turn into dust, and the dust like does that Looney Tunes crumble into the ground. Just start back over.
And supposedly the loots for the Lake of Calandra aren't good. Like that was like also part of the problem, right?
Let me tell you, like the mirror thing has been trash for me so far.
Yeah, I got some boops.
Trash.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got I think the best thing I got was a ring so far that I'm never going to use, but it was the best thing I got. It was like stuff I would never use on my build. I might use it for something else.
Hey, not to completely cut you off, even though I'm cutting you off.
Wow.
Because Lady Medusa put lake loot is trash. I have a friend that does like the magnet hunting. Have you guys ever seen that where you like drop the magnet in the lake and you try and find stuff that people drop in it?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm on a tangent. Anyways, he has so much fun doing it. And sometimes...
Is this Idaho stuff?
No, it's not Idaho stuff. It's actually the evil place stuff. And...
Wow.
I didn't say where. Anyways,
Canada.
lake trash, lake loot trash sometimes could be precious. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Well,
the strong boxes.
Well,
yeah.
when I go fishing, it's not with a magnet. But yeah, I don't know,
That's the thing.
I've already talked like the perpetual, like I had to leave the fight with Oak and go and change some things up to go back and
Really?
Yeah, because he was not killing me and I was not killing him.
Yeah,
it was perpetual hack and slash. Well, he's
Right.
resistant to elements.
He is.
And I was doing fire damage at the time. Molten Strike.
So was I, but yeah. I had the
Like,
SRS, but
Yeah, he was doing no
And
damage
zombies.
to me. I was doing no damage to. Oh, you had minions. I didn't get my crawler from Herald of Agony until Act 3 or 4. I didn't get the Herald of Agony because I'm running Marauder. It's not really. It didn't drop.
I did Skeeter bugs
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing
with my
the
minions. Yeah.
The crawler's great because you get go into Cyclone with that. You get the stacks up, and you can stack 40, 50, or 60 of them depending on what you have. Do some massive damage, and you're getting life back. Not bad. It's just more difficult to do this time.
All right, you're playing POE and Farthest Frontier, or no? Or is that on the shelf for the moment?
No, it was last Epoch. No, I still play Farthest Frontier. There's a new patch. I have to play through the new patch.
It's a good patch.
Blah blah.
Was it a good patch?
It's a good patch.
Last Epoch, or Eldest Ring, or Elden Ring.
Elden.
He's sick. He's sick. Everyone. Sorry. Go on.
He is.
I am, and I don't feel well. It is like almost all the other Souls games in terms of narrative. They marketed R.R. Martin as a writer. He did not write the game. He did the world building for the game, which makes sense because the narrative is remarkably similar to all the other Souls games, and
Right.
so is the plot. go kill the bosses. Other than that stuff, it's gorgeous. The mounted combat's really good. Or a really good addition. It's not the best mounted combat I've had in a game, but yeah, I give it an 8. If you guys like Souls games, play it. Yeah, I give it an 8.
You should play
The music's great.
Thymesia. I don't know
How do you say it? How do you say it again?
So some people
I
say
tried.
Thymesia, other people say Thymesia. I don't know.
Yeah, I
What was that?
think
Joe Rogan had that paleontologist, and he said Megalodon.
Is that what
Joe
you said?
called him out. He's like, in English, you don't have to place the emphasis on the syllable in any certain spot.
Megalodon.
He was saying Megalodon. I think he was doing it on purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Clicking all these buttons over here. Okay, very nice. Daft, what are you playing?
I was playing a little bit of Path of Exile for the weekend. I played a couple days. We talked about that. Also, Farthest Frontier. That's why you remember.
That's why I
Playing
remember.
that, they dropped a patch recently. Helped out a bit. The game's playing really well now. As far as just, it doesn't have any lagginess or bugginess anymore, so that's all good. I play a little bit of Civ, but those are the main 2 games I played this week. Yeah, but you know, Path of Exile, it kind of.
Do you
it's
think you will
the
play
same.
the next Path of Exile League, or do you think it's
No.
just time?
No. No.
So you feel like this might be I'm done. Like you think this was like, I've done it enough. I've seen enough.
It at this stage, it's that every time, and I didn't play for the last like 4 leagues, so you know, on a whim, I'll possibly play again, but I'm not looking forward to like jumping in again in any way. So yeah, there's other games that I play over that typically, and it's funny, I played it and I was enjoying what I played, but like I said, I just woke up one day, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm done, and that was it. Literally, it wasn't for the same reasons as the aggro or anything like that. It had nothing to do with that. It just, the new car scent wore off.
Anytime a game feels like a chore, or like, oh, I should probably like Lost Ark, right? Oh,
Right.
I gotta do my
We won't
chaos. I gotta do my chaos dungeon. Oh, gosh. I remember telling my wife, hey, I need to go get on my. Hey, honey, I need to go get on my computer for a little bit. Why? Well, I gotta do my dailies. And then in my head, I'm thinking, like, what? It's so stupid. Like, it's so.
I gotta go to work.
God.
I have things to do.
I
Do
literally.
the things I don't want to do.
I continue to say it over and over again. Games that have daily rewards are like my new nemesis. I hate
Right.
I am required to log in to click all the boxes that have a red dot on them to get whatever it is, to then like you're on day 7, you need to click day 8 because on day 12 you get a horse. Like I'm so sick of
Aaron,
that crap.
Are you worried about Dune, a MMO, having that?
Who's making it?
Bleh. I don't know.
We could save that for the bonus hour, but who is making that? What developer's making it?
I wouldn't-
And is it an MMO or is it what was it?
Lady Medusa, I wait until my hubby sleeps for my dailies. I can say so much based upon that comment, but I'm not going to. I don't know who's making the new Dune. I could tell you that it is a survival MMO, which is like
Oh.
that you can take that so many different ways. So I'm so curious how they're going to do it.
Vampire Survivor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Open world survival MMO.
Yep.
So
But
I'm
a
already
way
playing
bigger
Spice
budget.
Wars, and I like Spice Wars.
But Spice Wars is a 4X RTS, right?
It's mostly a 4X.
Yeah.
It's a real time 4X, which they really all are. I don't know why they added RTS in there, to be completely honest, because there's combat in all 4X games.
So you have, let me just give you an example, right? The day
But
after.
you can let it play in real time, I guess.
So the day
you
after
don't
is
pause it.
the most wishlisted game on Steam for like now 4 years in a row. The only time that it wasn't the most wishlisted game is when Stray couple weeks before Stray released, it was number 1, and then when it released, it gets taken off the most wishlisted because the game came out. Now, the day after is supposed to be literally an open world, like think WoW, right? Like full-on server, open world, MMORPG, but with zombies and survival mechanics and stuff you would come to see. But then you have a game like V Rising, where it's local servers and smaller communities. So until we see gameplay and where that game Dune Awakening is going, I don't know.
It's Funcom.
Guys, sign up for the beta. You can sign up for the beta right now at their website, Dune Awakening. It's dunegames.com.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mind said developer is Funcom, company behind Conan Exiles.
Conan.
Ooh,
Yep, they're now.
That is quite interesting. Okay, games I
Yeah.
played.
Concept art's
Hot
board.
topic.
Games I played this week. Man, talk about a random game. So like I said, on
You're
YouTube
all
right
over.
on YouTube right now, I am kind of doing an indie spotlight. And when I say indie spotlight, I'm saying like it's one creator, whatever it is, I'm giving him a shot. So I played Soulless Legion, which is a new tug of war game that is currently in Kickstarter. I played that. I played Spirit of Europe, which is a turn-based RPG dark fantasy based upon history. And when you
That one
talk about
looked interesting.
when you talk about this game, I mean, I don't know if I've ever played a game like this in my life. You could go into instant battle, you can go into classic campaign, you can go into only like historical battles. So there's 3 different things you can do. And then during the game, if you register, you can actually take quizzes. And if you pass the quiz halfway through and then you pass the final assessment, you get a legit certificate sent to you, showing that like
Yeah.
you learned your history. Anyways, I played the Spirit of Europe, and then yesterday I played Dave the Diver. I know, Guilty always laughs. It's actually a really fun game. I dropped the video today.
Yeah.
It's really simple. You just explore the ocean and you catch fish and you do all these missions, and then you build up your gear, and then you're also managing a sushi bar. Perfect. I've got one more indie spotlight coming, and it is Mage Noir Infinity, which is a card game.
Yeah. See what that's about.
So I got a little sprinkle of everything.
That's
He was
good.
telling us, we were talking, and he was talking about this game, and I thought he was saying,
Yeah.
Dave, not diver, but driver.
Dave
So I
the
had
Driver.
A very different concept of this game he was playing. Like, what's
That was a
what's he
golf
driving?
game?
Yeah, it's Dave the Diver.
Yeah.
I know. Very fun.
Fun. Having it spelled out and not spoken. It was
Exactly.
different.
All right, everybody, we are at 90 minutes. That's going to do it for This Week in Action Podcast 29. What me, Daft, and Guilty do now is we jump over to Patreon. So we always have a bonus hour every single week on Patreon. And thank you for everyone that has signed up there. We could not do what we do without you. So every week on Patreon, we have a blog post. We have our bonus hour. You get in the VIP lounge at our Discord. You get a special title. And based upon the tiers that are currently available, you get lots of extra goodies. It's always linked in chat. It's linked on every one of my videos, and it's in the Discord if you want to check out the Patreon. We would truly appreciate it, okay? Thank you all for checking out this podcast. As always, if you came in late, this will be up on YouTube tomorrow. Sometimes it takes a little bit because it's really long, but it'll be up on YouTube soon. I'm going to give Daft the last word. I'm already ready to push the button. Go ahead, sir. Last word.
Yeah. Let's see. So awesome again, guys. We're at 29. Looking forward to 30. Kind of a thing. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you guys next week.